Now, I'm really chuffed to say the London-based American-born performer Paula Varjack has a strong sense of style. We will photograph her alongside me, actually, who's looking a bit dressed down today, I am, before she goes. So you'll just see how truly gorgeous she is. She selects her clothes from eBay or charity shops, but always on a budget. So why did she get up at the crack of dawn to stand outside an H&M store at 4 a.m. to buy one designer dress that cost more than she would usually spend in a year? In her show, The Cult of Kenzo, Paula examines why we want the things we want. Great subject. I'm so pleased to say she joins us on the afternoon show. Hello.
Hello.
You are a massive statement because, let me just explain, you are wearing fuchsia pink, which I would imagine everything you have on is designer. We'll discover whether it is. Fantastic T-shirt, pink dipped hair, which is wonderful, and the fuchsia is a trouser suit, and I can't see what you've got on your feet, but anyway, we'll take a photograph. What roughly do you think it would have cost you, what you've got on today?
I mean, it's not true that everything I buy is from charity shops, but there are a handful of high street stores that I do buy from, and the one that I probably buy from the most is Monkey. So this is a monkey suit.
And Monkey's fairly new to all of us, actually, isn't it?
Yes.
So just, you are preaching to the converted. When you came in, I went, listen, everything you're saying, I'm nodding. Gurpreet on the show had me outside H&M for Moschino, and you are wearing Moschino?
No, but I've got a handbag from the collection, yes.
Which is what, did you get one, Gurpreet? I think she did. No, one of Kim who works here wanted that. Gurpreet didn't get it. I went down there, and because there's two H&Ms, there were queues down Regent Street and Oxford Street. For my age group, they never did this for us, that these designers suddenly go, actually, we're very democratic, we'll give you all a bite of the cherry. It is generous, isn't it?
I mean, it is, but then I think the problem that happens is capitalism. So when I say that, I mean, there then becomes a resale market. So the idea is beautiful that a designer that you normally can't afford creates something for the high street, but then because there's a resale market, a large number of the people who then queue are actually there to resell it. And then there are also people who are happy to pay far more because they don't want to wait all night like I did. So it creates this kind of bizarre... It's meant to be this space where you can get something you can't normally get, but it's nearly impossible to get something unless you turn up at strange hours.
Do they ever limit you to the number of items when you go in there? Do they ever say you can't have more than 5 items or not?
I mean, there's a lot of rules. It's very, very,
really?
very strict. Yeah. So, and I'm embarrassed to admit I've done this 3 times now. So I queued for the Kenzo collaboration. I then queued last year for Erdem, but that wasn't actually to buy anything. It was more for research for the show, just to repeat the experience. And then I queued again for Moschino in November. And actually, the stuff that I have in the Moschino collection, I think I like the most of all.
The most?
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering about Gurpreet. She did it, but she's never worn any of it apart from once. And I wonder whether she just wanted to get it because it was cheap. I've never asked you this, Gurpreet, whether you liked what you bought or whether you just thought, I'm going to get it because no one else can get it. Is there some of that in it, do you think?
I think there can be some of that in it, but... For example, with the Kenzo collaboration, what I noticed is the first thing that seemed to sell out were the sweatshirts, which I found really bizarre because the sweatshirts don't even look like the normal Kenzo sweatshirts. And
this is what they do. They do the cheaper variety, don't they?
Yes. So, for example, part of the reason why I think the Moschino bag I have is actually a really good deal is it's nearly identical to a silver padlock bag they did, which I think was just under $2,000. Well, this one is 150 pounds.
So that's, and people listening, even our listeners will go, you think that's a bargain, 150 pounds? Yes, it actually is. And it's, you know, I've said before, I can't understand people that don't love fashion. I judge people by what they wear. I'm that banal. Truly. I cannot understand why someone would get up in the morning and not care what they put on. Do you?
I mean, I think everyone actually cares what they put on. I just think the difference is some people think that when they're choosing whatever they're choosing, they're not making any decision what they're choosing. But I think even if what you're picking is about, I just really want to be comfortable, or I just want to project to someone who fits in some way, or I need to fit in with a certain work environment, there's always some kind of narrative behind what you wear. And I just think that it's somehow, it's immodest to admit that there is a conscious narrative behind what you wear.
Interesting.
And then I think there's something horrifically gendered about it as well. So as a woman, I think you kind of can't win with it, really, especially if you're a woman who's in the public eye, because you're meant to take care of your parents in a certain way, but then you're also quickly ripped apart for spending too much money.
Look at Meghan already being ripped apart, and yet she's, what she's doing for fashion is amazing, but they're already saying, oh, Kate recycles, she doesn't recycle, and, blah, blah, blah. You're absolutely right. There is, though, again, because you're so much younger than me, there is this amazing, for my age group, where if you wanted something luxurious, you really had to pay for it. But there is now eBay, and I love eBay or any other auction site, because if I've ever bought anything on eBay, it's always come with a little bit extra. I bought some Lululemon, yoga pants that said only worn once, and I thought, oh, well, fine, I'm going to trust it. And it came with a lavender bag and the top and a little note from a doctor in Glasgow who said, I thought I'd give you the top because I washed it and it shrunk, so I couldn't sell it, but I'm just going to pop it in case you could wear it. And the lavender bags I make. How wonderful is that? How wonderful is it? And it's all like eBay does operate on trust, doesn't it, to a great extent?
Yes, and I think there's also something about a story behind what you buy. Like I have like an Escada suit, a secondhand Escada suit. It looks so Patsy Abfab. It's like a black, white wool. It's like what you'd wear at Ascot or something. And the woman I bought it from, she wrote me this handwritten card saying it used to be your favorite suit to go to the races. She might have been lying. It might have just been a nice story. But there's something really beautiful about that, actually, of owning something that belongs to someone else who hopefully really loved it, and then it having another life.
Okay. Have you ever been to Retro Woman in Notting Hill?
I haven't.
So, again, I did video this. They are extraordinary. It looks like a junk shop, right? The person who told me about it's going to kill me now because she went, Jo, you are never to tell anyone about this place. So they will buy from you and they will sell to you. But they are ruthless. So the selling is downstairs. You go down and you take in what you think is quite a nice Diane von Furstenberg wraparound dress. They look at it as though it's something the cat sicked up. They analyse every single bit and they go, well, that thread's pulled, that hem's down. No, don't want it. And you go, but hang on a moment, that hem, just a stitch, no, we won't sell anything that isn't perfect. And it's good that they don't, because all they want, I said to them, what are you searching for more than anything? Chanel. They said Chanel is the most prized fashion, accessories, glasses, shoes in London. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think there's just something endlessly iconic about it. And the other thing that's been funny for me with this whole journey with high fashion is when I queued for the Kenzo collaboration, I didn't have any designer clothes. And not long after, I signed with a voiceover agency, which is like another one of the things I do for money. And it's the first time I started doing work where I made the kind of money where I could very occasionally buy designer clothes. But the thing that's actually been really interesting for me about that is in some ways that the value isn't actually the same as me queuing for these collaborations. And I think it's because what I gained that year that I queued for the Kenzo and H&M collaboration wasn't just the dress, or it was a story. It was this weird underworld that I got into with other people who were so committed to this brand that they desperately wanted, but they couldn't afford. And this was the one day. So now for me, it's like, I've literally built a whole show around that day. But the value for me of that dress is the fact that I thought about it for weeks, that I tried to figure out which store I should queue for it at. And that's all built into what's special about it. Well, as when I finally, bought as something that was actually Kenzo a bag, it didn't have the same spark because I just went into the store and I bought it. Yeah.
I love it. The Kenzo dress, was it a dress?
Well, I kind of have a small capsule collection. So I spent just over £400 on two dresses and two jackets and a skirt.
And would you, because when I do this bargaining with myself,
which by the way I should say I never ever have done before.
So what I was going to say to you is if I buy something exorbitant, in my head I go, okay, can I sell this on? You know, can I put this on eBay? I still don't know how to work eBay selling-wise. I know how to work it buying-wise, but could I take it to Retro Woman in Notting Hill? But if there's literally one thread gone, they'll turn it away. But in my head, I think, yes, I can. So I'll buy it because it will have a life. You know, it will go on and on. Do you sell as well as buy?
I do. I buy secondhand designer goods and then I sell them. And I have a similar logic to you. It's like I buy them thinking, well, this is something that I know there's going to be resale value on. So it feels worth investing in. But that's the other thing that's kind of ironic about these collaborations, because there isn't there's a resale value in a very small window right when the collection drops.
Yeah.
But then I would say give it a month or so, and then usually those items are not worth much more
because
than
everyone knows they're part of a collab. They're not, you know, really the genuine thing. I know it's a collaboration. It's not the genuine. But again, it's why I say, and it sounds very privileged, because lots of people go, oh, aren't you lucky you can buy a designer outfit or designer shoes or whatever. But I still say if you can afford them or save for them, their life is a lot longer than something that doesn't have a label to it. That, you know, if you look after them, they do have they have a future value if you know how to sell online or go into a shop, that don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I only have one actual real designer dress. And it's a Moschino dress, actually. And the funny thing about it is, this is going to really make me sound insane. I wanted it for like 3 years. So Jeremy Scott, I think he got a Women's Wear Daily Award, and Miley Cyrus presented it to him, and she was wearing this dress. And I saw it. I tried to see if I could find a cheap copy of it. I know all these Chinese retailers that do these things. And I literally watched it on this one luxury retailer online site. I watched it drop down over 3 years until
there was
yes,
it was on there.
It was from $2,000 until
committed.
I think yes, and it was one of those things where every so often I'd be like, one day I might suddenly fall into money, and then one day I got a voiceover job for $4,000, and then there was that one dress.
And
but the funny thing is, once I got it, I never felt like I could wear it because I'm not someone who has designer dresses, and I solved it by putting it in the show. So now I'm going to wear it every night.
You are you? It opened last night. Let's give everyone the details. I love the sound of this show. So these are the sort of shows we're in London for, right? And you don't always hear about them because there isn't a massive PR budget. So it's I'm not. You know, you'll agree with me. It's not a massive PR budget. So there's not going to be posters all the way down the escalators. So these shows, if you hear about them, go to them because they're one-offs. It's called The Cult of Kenzo. It's on at the London Camden People's Theatre. Where's that then?
So, confusingly, it's not actually in Camden. It's by Warren Street.
Oh, right. So just down the road from here.
So it's there until Saturday, and then it's going all around the country with one more London date in Battersea. Yes.
So Battersea Arts, it's going to be on the 27th of April. Sorry. But if you want to go to the one at Camden People's Theatre, Warren Street, it's on at the 9th. So that's on until the 9th,
Exactly, yeah.
On until the 9th. Best thing to do is book online, which is cptheatre.co.uk.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
cptheatre.co.uk or Battersea Arts, which is the 27th of April. There is a box office number 0207 419 4841. Tickets are 12 or 10 quid. How brilliant is that? And it's obviously it's a one-woman show. Is it your first?
No, I've been making theater for about 7 years now, and it's my third
You've
solo
done
show.
Soho, I think, haven't you? Yeah.
I haven't yet, no, but it's in my sights. So if anyone is connected, listening.
I'm dying to know what commercial you voiced for 4,000. Are we still hearing it? Don't say the product. Tell me your fare. Tell me, are we still hearing it? Is it a radio commercial? Or
it was actually a commercial for Adidas.
Oh.
And it was online.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gosh, so could you become the voice of?
I mean, that is the other thing that I do.
So you are the voice of a brand.
I'm not the voice of a brand, but I do a lot of voiceover work.
Yeah, I can imagine, actually. And I knew you would because you put your headphones on the moment you sat down. Anyone that uses their voice wants to wear headphones. You just go, no, thank you, I want to hear my breath. Because you do, don't you? I really have enjoyed speaking to you. My question to everybody listening, and I will ask you this, actually. Oh, Paula, you've answered it. What is the most expensive item in your wardrobe? I asked Robert Elms, the presenter who was on before me, and he went, Joe, if you have Savile Row suits, not suits, they run into quite a lot. So, yes, Robert has a few Savile Row suits. In your wardrobe, what is the most expensive item you have? I'm trying to think of what would be the most expensive. Probably, I think my... Sorry about this. Can you hear the dog? Sorry, everyone keeps hearing it's my stomach rumbling. Christian Louboutin shoes. 3 pairs I've got. And I don't think Retro Woman would ever buy them back from me because I've had them resold and rehealed where you lose the red, you know, underneath. And this lovely cobbler's in Marylebone Station, who's gone now, he painted it red. He went, "Joe, I've painted it red," and it looked awful. I looked like I was wearing fake Louboutin. And I thought, no, you should have just left it. So they have no value, really. And where my bunion is, it sticks out. So I'll never get the money back on those. But those are the most expensive I have. I would love to know, what is the most expensive item in your wardrobe? Give us a call, 0800 731 2000. For you, then, is it the one you bought?
It's the Moschino dress.
Yeah, it is. And if you want to see it, book and see the show. And do you wear it throughout?
I wear it in the opening.
Oh, right. Gosh.
It's the very first thing you see.
So do you do costume changes in the show?
Oh, my God, Joe, there are so many costume changes.
God, we've got to go and see this, girls. We've definitely got to go and see it. I've really enjoyed speaking to you. Paula Varjack, thank you so much for coming in.
Lovely to meet you.